Jai Srimad Narayan. Jai Srimad Narayan. Jai Srimad Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Srimad Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. We continue our discourse on the question asked by Vishvadhar Ramanuj Das on the Guru principle. And I have decided to use these sessions exclusively to culminate in a book when these series of discourses are completed. And I have also decided that as we are traversing with this subject, I want to add references from the Vedas directly, so there is no confusion when somebody 20 years down the line picks up this book and he wants to know whether this lectures are authentic or not authentic. Because today it is the norm of society not to believe the absolute truth. Society is ever ready to examine that which is scriptural. And in doing so, I have extensively realized the conclusions of the Vedas so that I can make references accordingly and in context. I've also stated that I've been through the internet and I tried to find a cover-to-cover information on the Guru principle, and you can go onto the internet yourself today and find that there is nothing comprehensive that can lead you to understanding who a bona fide spiritual master is. And I want to cover this gap, as it is my incumbent duty as a guru to the Western world mostly, because this is where the ignorance lies in this principle of guru-disciple relationship. And I want to start by continuing where I left off last week with Vedic injunctions from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Part 1. So I'm going to Canto 3, Chapter 12, page 498. So, if you remember, just recapping from last week, Lord Brahma computed into the universe immediately after given instructions from Lord Srimad Narayan. He computed nescience, and nescience means ignorance and non-awareness of knowledge. So we have this universe is made up of the cosmic ego, the cosmic intelligence, and the cosmic mind. This entire universe is enveloped in the cosmic ego, the cosmic intelligence, and the cosmic mind. And each human has an atom from the cosmic intelligence. Each human has an atom of that intelligence. From the cosmic ego, each human has an atom of that cosmic ego, and each human has an atom of the cosmic mind. Are you understanding? So the mind, the ego, and the intelligence is the creation from the Supreme Lord Himself. And then each human is awarded an atom as per his or her karma. In proportion to his or her karma, each human is awarded that ego. What does ego mean? What does ego mean? Pride. Anyone else? Ego simply means identity. Ego simply means identity. When somebody say don't have ego, you've heard people saying don't have ego, or that man has ego. Is it a true statement or a false statement, or a not understood statement? You must have ego. Every living entity must have identity. Yes? So ego simply means identity. False ego. False ego means when you identify yourself with this body. When you say, I am this body, I am an Indian, I am a lawyer, I am a doctor, I am a South African, these are all identifications of the body. The body is a lawyer, the body is a South African, the body is a teacher. Yes or no? Because when that body perishes, the lawyer perishes, the teacher perishes, the doctor perishes. But when you identify yourself as the soul, I am the soul that is inhabiting this body of a lawyer today. That is your true identification. You are the spark that is identifying this, that is using this body as a mode of transport. As a mode of transport, where you supposed to be using this body as a transport? Where you supposed to be going? Aware? You're supposed to be using this body to walk to the ashram. This transport you should be using to walk to the ashram. But you use this body, you fit it in another motor vehicle, and then you come to the ashram. And that too whenever you want to. But this body was only awarded to you. The ultimate purpose of this body that is awarded to you, the main purpose, the primary purpose, is to use it and come to ashram. Because the 8 million other species do not have the atom of cosmic intelligence in them to use those bodies to come to the ashram. Do you understand? Primary reason you are awarded a human body is to use this body to evolve spiritually. To evolve spiritually. There's enough time. As I said, there's enough time. There's 311 trillion 40 billion years in every cycle of creation to use this body to come to ashram and evolve. But there is no guarantee, absolutely no guarantee, that you're going to get another human body in your succeeding lifetime to come to the ashram. There is no guarantee. So you need to use this body whilst you are here in the presence of the Guru. You need to change your mindset and you need to use this body profitably. You need to use this body profitably. The only time you can use this body profitably is to realize that you are the soul and not this body. You are the soul. You are using this body to come to God and self-realization. What is self-realization? What is self-realization? Self-realization means I have realized that I am not this body, I am the soul contained within this body. That is self-realization. When you reach this point in reality, because Tivashni can tell her mother and father, I am a soul. I heard her saying this about 5 years ago. But in reality, she has not acted as a soul. In reality, so you can say it, I am the soul, it means absolutely nothing. You need to live as the soul. You need to live as the soul. So there are 3 currents. There are 3 currents that is ever prevalent in this universe. 3 currents. And every living entity is impelled by these currents. These currents are Satagun, it means the mode of purity. Tamogun, the next current is Rajogun, the mode of passion and desire. And the last current is Tamogun, the mode of total ignorance. So if you say, I am the soul in the mode of ignorance, if you say, if your mind is currently in the mode of ignorance and you say, I am the soul, what will be the result? There will be no result because you are in ignorance. You say, I am the soul, but you are not understanding that I am the soul, what it means. If you say, I am the soul in the mode of desire, what does that mean? You recognized I am the soul. You Rita, you recognized I am the soul, but nevertheless you still put makeup and came to satsang. Nevertheless, you still used makeup, you poshed up, you stood in front of the mirror, you dolled yourself up, and then you came to satsang because you are in the mode of passion, the mode of desire. Your mind is more impelled towards the body than the soul. Alright? And then, if you realized I am the soul in Satagun or the mode of purity, I can't see anyone. I'm looking, can't see. Alright? I wish I see one person before I close my eyes. One only, I'll be happy. I just need to make one pure disciple. Then I'm covered. Alright? But I can't see, not even you, Dana. Not even Dana. Alright? This is how difficult it is to be in the mode of absolute purity. Okay? So these modes are eternal. They exist eternally within the Supreme Lord. And most Hindus, they know this name for these three modes. And some of them even got these names. It's called God's Maya. Alright? And Maya has been introduced in names as well. Who knows of a name Maya as a friend or as a family? Everyone. Every Sanatan Dharmi should know of a name Maya. This three modes impels every living entity in this universe, whether you're a tree, whether you're a frog, whether you're a snake, whether you're a lion. These three modes impel every living entity. This is the fuel for the impulsion of every living entity. These modes govern every living entity, and it governs every human being. So you can work it out for yourself. When you get up in the morning, if you pray to the Lord as soon as you open your eyes, this is what gurus, pastors, Maulanas, rabbis, they teach you. The minute you open your eyes, and if you say, thank you Lord, thank you Pastor, thank you to the Pope, thank you to the Guru, thank you to the Maulana, thank you Allah, thank you Jesus. When you open your eyes in the morning, and if you have gratitude, and if you say this early in the morning, it means you got up in a state of purity. Got up in a state of purity. Your mind was impelled through pure consciousness throughout the night. And this is why we also teach you, when you sleep, when you are about to close your eyes, thank you Guru, thank you Pastor, thank you Jesus, thank you Allah, thank you Jehovah. Then you will sleep in the mode of purity. And definitely you will get up in the mode of purity. Forget your circumstances. Forget your circumstances. No matter what circumstances you went through the day, if you sleep and you impel upon yourself the mode of goodness, you'll sleep through the conscious of goodness, and you'll get up in the consciousness of goodness in the morning. Forget your circumstances. Similarly, if you sleep, Vasan, I want more tenders. I want more tenders. You'll get up wanting more tenders. You understand? So you are in the mode of passion and desire. You want more. Instead of having gratitude, Gratitude impels you into the purity dimension. Wanting more impels you into the passionate, where you want to acquire. And then if you get up in the morning, oh hell, I had to get up, then you are in the mode of ignorance. You'll get up lazy, you'll turn around, you'll say 5 more minutes, you'll turn around again, 10 more minutes, you don't want to get up. Should I go to work? Should I get up? Tivashni, should I go to school? Oh hell! Then you are in a mode of ignorance, and your entire day will be hellish, because you yourself programmed your day through which mode you got up. So these 3 modes exist at all times. These 3 modes, goodness, passion, desire, and ignorance, exist at all times, but only one is dominant at a time in you. Only one is dominant at a time in you. So these negativities were computed by Lord Brahma into the universe before man was created. Before man was created, all these negativities that exist in this universe was computed by Lord Brahma before man was created. So last week we said that he injected or computed nescience into the universe. So this nescience is the cosmic ego. The cosmic ego, the cosmic intelligence, and the cosmic mind. And you take an atom as per your karma, what proportions you going to live as an individual in your life. So remember, he created the nescience, then he created the negativity first, the nescience, then he created the guru principle next. His second creation, Lord Brahma's second creation that he computed in the universe, was the guru principle. So I stated last week that he used the negativity and locked the mind, the intelligence, and the ego of a human being. And then to undo that, he created the guru principle. The guru principle is the key to unlock your ego, your mind, and your intelligence from nescience. And it gives you knowledge. When you unlock your mind through the key of knowledge, you become liberated. You become liberated. So Lord Brahma created the nescience, lack of knowledge, and ignorance, and then he created the guru principle. Subsequently, he created the guru principle, and this guru principle is personified by the 4 Kumaras. Now, when the 4 Kumaras decided that they're going to become saints and they're not going to be involved in the population of this universe, it angered Lord Brahma. Listen very carefully for those of us that are fighting for the different understanding and category who the Supreme Lord is. When Lord Brahma got angry, then through his eyebrows was born Rudra. Rudra was born in anger, and that is why Rudra is used for destruction, because you cannot destruct unless you are angry. I can't calmly give Vasan a tight smack. Vasan, I can't call you here calmly, humbly, in all humility and give you a sounder, because I have to be impelled by a certain energy to give you a sounder. I have to be angry. My anger has to translate into energy. That energy need to get into my hand, and from my hand that energy need to get into Vasan's right cheek. Vasan is feeling it and visualizing it. Alright? Vasan? Yes or no? So that is when this principle was born. This principle to destruct and destroy. And this is, does it make sense? Is it logical? And that is Lord Shiva today, that we call Lord Shiva. He is an incarnation of the Rudra principle. So let's see, right at creation. The first principle is the God principle. Second principle, personified by Lord Brahma, is the creative principle. Third principle is the Guru principle. Third principle, right outside of everything, when human is not even thought of yet, is the Guru principle. And then we get the destructive principle, which is personified by Lord Shiva. Are you understanding the sequence of creation? Because if you understand the sequence of creation, then you'll understand the category and supremacy of all those that are personified. Are you understanding? So let me read quickly. Text 6, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 12. On the refusal of the sons to obey the order of their father, there was much anger generated in the mind of Brahma, which he tried to control and not express. Text 7. Although he tried to curb his anger, it came out from between his eyebrows, and a child of mixed blue and red was immediately generated. Okay, so I've explained to you and I've corroborated with a Vedic injunction. That is the birthplace of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is born from the eyebrows of Lord Brahma. That is the designation of Lord Shiva. That is, no matter how much you love Lord Shiva, you cannot change a Vedic injunction. No matter how much you love Lord Shiva, you cannot change his status quo. His status quo is generated through the Vedic injunctions. Canto 3, Chapter 12, page 510. Text 21. Brahma, who was empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thought of generating living entities and begot 10 sons for the extension of the generation. Text 22. Marisi, Atri, Angira, Pulatsya, Pulaha, Kratu, Birgu, Vasista, Daksha, and the 10th son, Narada, were born. So, after Lord Shiva, all the saints were born. After Lord Shiva, all these saints were born. And these saints were born to continue the Guru principles. Of these saints, there are 7 saints. You all heard of the 7 saints. You all heard of Gotra. You all heard of the word Gotra. Everyone belongs to these 7 saints. Everyone come in a DNA succession. A DNA succession with the 7 saints. Every human being. If you trace yourself backward, you're going to land. There's 10 saints here, but from this 10, everyone has a knot from these 7 saints. All of you understand? 25. So all these things that's happening is happening subtly. Do you understand what subtle is? You understand what subtle is? So if I take my cell phone and I go on a WhatsApp with you and I send a message to you and you seated in this room, the message that I will send to you will be in a gross form because I can see it on my screen. And when you receive it on that end, it will be in the gross form because you can see it on your screen. Yes? But the transmission of the data from my phone to your phone, can anyone see it? But does it exist? You know it exists. Doesn't mean to say if our gross eyes cannot see something, it does not exist. If we had a different eyesight, then we can see data crossing all over in this room. Yes? If we had sight to see the data, it does not mean it does not exist. So all this creation is being created in its subtle form. All this creation, whatever I am discussing now, is being created in its subtle and seed form. So we all know that everything in this universe is energy. Do we know it? Our body is made of energy. This mic is made of energy. My voice is energy traveling in a frequency. So everything is in a frequency of energy. There is nothing that is not in a frequency of energy. That is simple logic. We know this. We also know that energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. It cannot be destroyed. So the energy, Lord Brahma created reservoirs. He created a reservoir of anger. He created a reservoir of hatred. He created a reservoir of jealousy. Anyone jealous here? He created a reservoir of envy. Anyone envious here? He created a reservoir of pride. Then when you dip this energy into pride, what will happen to your mind? You will become a proud person. But you must have a reservoir to impel the mind to have pride. Your mind just can't get pride from somewhere. You understand? We are all born thinking that we are as we are from the abstract. That is not the case. This universe has reservoirs of everything, and now Lord Brahma, at this point in my discourse, he is creating reservoirs for all these vices that he is planting in this universe. Are you understanding it as I'm describing? Anyone confused? Dharma. There's a slight difference between, or there is a vast difference between dharma and religion. Alright? Religion is more constrained. Dharma is the scientific way of living in this universe. That is what dharma. So although religion is written here, the correct translation is dharma was, okay, just let me get into text. Text 25, Canto 3, Chapter 12. Dharma was manifested from the breast of Brahma, wherein is seated the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, and irreligion appeared from his back, where horrible death takes place for the living entity. So here's Lord Brahma. He computed from his essence dharma through the auspices of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Srimad Narayan. So Lord Srimad Narayan is the source for righteous living, and then from his back, our dharma was created. From the back of Brahma, everything that is not righteous was created. We understanding? And this reservoir was created so that the souls can be dipped into these reservoirs and have these attributes or vices. So dharma will be attributes and our dharma will be vices. Yes? And 26, lust and desire became manifested from the heart of Brahma, anger from between his eyebrows, greed from between his lips, and the power of speaking from his mouth, the ocean from his penis, and the low and abominable activities from his anus, the source of all sins. So you see again, all these vices, everything negative and positive, was intentionally created by Lord Brahma. Anger was intentionally created by Lord Brahma. Every negativity that you find in a human being was negatively created and computed in this universe by Lord Brahma. You see it? So now you don't have to be shocked. Like when you get children growing up, they have an anger problem. And you wonder why this child is so angry. This child is only 6 months, 7 months. It can stare you in the eye. There's no need to be confused. At the birth of this child, a proportion of anger was injected into the consciousness of this child, and this anger, the creator of this anger is Lord Brahma. And that is why if you go right round India, no temples for? Are there any temples? Just one temple for Lord Brahma. One temple for Lord Brahma. Creation has already taken. You don't have to worship the creator, the secondary creator. Creation has already taken place. Now we are in maintenance. We are in maintenance. That is why we worship Lord Vishnu, because he is the head of maintenance. And to destroy your ignorance, that Lord Brahma created into this universe, we use Lord Shiva. Not to destroy the universe, to destroy the universe in you, of your vices, then Lord Shiva, and that is why Lord Shiva is the head of the Guru principle, because the ignorance and lack of knowledge as computed by Lord Brahma into the universe, to negate that we have Lord Shiva, and he brings you to the Guru. Lord Shiva brings you to the Guru, and through the transcendental knowledge of the Guru, I'm using the word transcendental. Remember, the Guru is not transcendental, and this is where we make mistakes. Guru is not transcendental. What transcendental mean? What's the meaning of transcendental? From out of this material world. Can the Guru be transcendental? And this is where many people are making huge mistakes. They believe that because the Guru is the expounder of transcendental knowledge, he himself must be transcendental. Guru cannot be transcendental and give you transcendental knowledge at the same time. Transcendental means out of this universe. If I am out of this universe, how will I be giving you this knowledge in this ashram? And this is why I stated last week, and I'm stating again this week, don't look at the Guru. Guru is a human being like you. Guru is a human being like you. Don't look at his personality. Don't look how he walks, how he talks. That should not interest you. When you go to, those of you that went to university, did you worry how your lecturer laughed, how your lecturer talked, how he walked, where he went and sat, what he did at home? How many of you worried about all that? You only worried about the information that he gave you. Yes? His behavior didn't pass anyone that was in university. Did any one in university pass and get their degree by studying the behavior of the lecturer? You only got your degree because you used the information that the lecturer gave you and got your degree. Yes? So don't look at the Guru, his behavior, where he lives, how he lives, what he does. That is not going to liberate you. Take the information of the Guru. Take the information of the Guru and use it positively in your life. So Guru has never declared that he is God. Guru has never declared that he is God. Guru is only personifying the transcendental knowledge that is computed through the auspices of the Supreme Lord into the universe. In a few years' time, Guru will be gone, but the principle won't go with the Guru. The principle is eternal. All of you understand? So, Hindus, the biggest mistake they make is they look at the Guru. And they don't look at the knowledge that the Guru is giving. So I want to say at this point in my life, because many people will be reading this somewhere along the line, that I myself, I'm a former policeman. I carried a Beretta 15 shooter, but in lieu of my military training, I cocked the Beretta and put one round in the chamber, so it became a 16 shooter. Manufactured as a 15 shooter, if I put a round in the chamber, it became a 16 shooter. Alright? And years ago, Mataji's sister said that her Guru is a mother Guru is a father and Guru is a God. And I had this vision of my 16-shooter shooting her Guru. I was an atheist in that point in time. As soon as I heard this, Guru is my mother, Guru is my father, Guru is my God, and this vision appeared in my mind. 16-shooter, 16 bullets. Who's this man? You understand? So I understand how people feel on the other side today. I understand how people feel on the other side today. I was an atheist because there was a lack of transcendental knowledge. I couldn't satisfy my curiosity anywhere. I was an avid reader. I must have read 1,000,000 paged book in the library if I go find my ID number across my life, but I could not find this information that I wanted. And so God placed me there so that I can embrace those who do not understand the Guru-disciple relationship. So if I felt at that point in time, and if that image came in my mind, so if there's any images in your mind, it's lesser than mine, I can forgive you. Those that are seated here and those that will be reading this discourse later. So I just want to quickly go through Canto 3, chapter 12, page 522. Text 34. Page 522. So now we are at a point. Now we are at a point in creation where Lord Brahma created the 10 saints, and after that he is contemplating to continue creating to increase the population in the universe. And text 34 states, once upon a time, when Brahma was thinking of how to create the worlds as in the past millennium, the 4 Vedas, which contain all varieties of knowledge, became manifested from his 4 mouths. So we all know, as Sanatan Dharmis, that in this universe, Lord Brahma has 4 faces. In this universe, we have the 4-faced Lord Brahma, and from his 4 faces, the 4 Vedas were manifested. Which are the 4 Vedas? Rig Vedas, Amita, 4 Vedas? Rig Ved, Sama Ved, Atharva Veda, and Google. Guru not going to tell you, Google. So can you see at which point the 4 Vedas, the knowledge came out and where the source is? Can you see? Yajurved. Okay. So can you see in creation when the 4 Vedas came out? And it is stated here, and I've been finding this along most of our injunctions, as in the past millennium. What it means? The Vedas are always the same, and creation is cyclic, and the Vedas were revealed as it was revealed in the past millennium, intact. So in every creation, the Vedas come out exactly as it was before. All right? Text 37. Canto 3, chapter 12. Maitreya said, and I quote, beginning from the front face of Brahma, gradually all the four Vedas, Rik, Yajur, Sama and Atharva became manifest. Thereafter, Vedic hymns, which had not been pronounced before, priestly rituals, the subject matters of recitation, and transcendental activities were all established one after the other. Text 38. He also created the medical science. I want you to understand when medical science came into being. Text 37. He also created the medical science, military art, musical art, and architectural science, all from the Vedas. Full stop. They all emanated one after another, beginning from the front face. So can you understand, even before the first human took his birth, medical science, Hemita, unfortunately do not come from the disciplic succession of those medical people, Madame Curie and the rest. It comes from the Supreme Lord. Medical science come. There was no human when medical science came from the Vedas. Then military art, musical art, architectural science. This is why there is no scientist in the world that can go to India and explain how temples were built today with all types of technology, wood radar, wood everything. Scientists cannot explain, and many of these temples are built without foundation. Many of these temples in India are built without foundation and without cement. And there is a temple in India that incline is 9 degrees, I think, greater than that one in France where people pay millions to go and see. There is a greater feature. Greater feature scientists cannot explain. How? Because this architecture and its secrets were given by the Supreme Lord Himself through the Vedas. Are you understanding? Text 39. Then he created the fifth Veda, that is the Puranas and the histories from all his mouths, since he could see all the past, present and future. So all the Puranas emanated from the mouth of Lord Brahma, including the histories. What are the histories? The Mahabharata and the Ramayana. These are the histories, and the Puranas are also historical events. 18 of the Puranas emanated from his mouth. When? Right there at creation. Text 41. And I'm quoting, education. What I said? Education, comma, charity, comma, penance, and truth are said to be the four legs of Dharma. And to learn this, there are four orders of life with different classifications of castes according to vocation. Brahma created all these in systematic order. Let's look at education. Let us look at education. When the British invaded, or when the British took India and made it its colony, India was one of the most prosperous continents in the world. India already had the very first university. That university is still there today. Then you get these people like Max Muller and these other Europeans that learned Sanskrit because they couldn't break the Indian system. So they had to learn Sanskrit. They learned Sanskrit and they broke the Indian system. Okay? So that because the system was so protective that you could not do anything with this civilization. It was the most advanced civilization on this planet. And to come in, they learned the language and they interpreted everything else from the Vedas. So in the Rig Veda, you already have information on how to create an aeroplane. Rig Veda, first spoken 5,000 years. 5,000 years ago, information is there how to build a ship, how to make an aeroplane. All this information is already there. You see, I'm talking on education. First point, education. Education given long before man formed. No man is formed yet, but education is computed in the universe. Are you understanding? Maths. Binary numbers. Where we use in binary numbers today? Where? Where? Where it originated? In the Vedas. Trigonometry, geometry, algebra, all of this originated in the Vedas. It was stolen. It was stolen by the West. The first plane manufacturers and to fly a plane were not the Wright brothers. They were printers. They were printers. The first aeroplane to be flown was flown in India 8 years before the Wright brothers. 8 years before the Wright brothers. Nothing was discovered. How can you discover something that's computed already? How can you discover all these physical science laws? How can you discover it when it was computed by Lord Brahma already? It's there for you. You can't discover something that's there for you. Like they say, Vasco da Gama discovered. What did Vasco da Gama discover? Where? Sea route to? That sea route was already there. There was nothing to discover. Discover means something that was not there and you found it. You can't find anything on this planet, anything in this universe, because the Supreme Lord has put everything in place. You can't find nothing. You can utilize what the Supreme Lord has put in place. All the physical science laws were stolen from India, went into the West and suddenly they discovered. But every scientist that claims to have discovered these laws have said that they have washed their minds with the Bhagavad Gita. I'll read it to you some other time. Every scientist from the West have stated that they have washed their minds with the Bhagavad Gita. All of you understand? Zero, India. Vedic maths is the simplest maths. Go on YouTube, write the Vedic maths and see how simple Vedic maths is. Everything that is discovered or the West state they discovered, they stole from the Vedas. Everything was stolen from the Vedas. The first surgeon is a saint who studied and got the information from the Vedas. The first mathematician, not Lord Ramanuj. Have you all heard of Ramanujan? Today, NASA is using Ramanujan's theorems for their flights into space. And Ramanujan said, when I went on my tour to South India, I was looking for Lord Ramanuj. The taxi driver took me to Ramanujan. So I went and I visited his small apartment that he had in the south of India. And he stated quite clearly when he was interviewed, people asked him, how are you getting these theories? And he said, when I sleep, Mother Saraswati. He stated, he is the greatest mathematician of all times. He stated that all these theorems comes to me in my sleep through Mother Saraswati. All of you understand? And who is Mother Saraswati? The wife of who? Lord Brahma. Mother Saraswati is the wife of Lord Brahma. All of you understand? Verse. Are you all hungry for more information? Are you all hungry for more information? Those of you that's feeling hungry for more information, then you all are in a state of purity, because knowledge is the food for the soul. Those of you that are now at this point hungry for more information and not hungry for mommy and mama's food they prepared this morning, they were here about 7:30, 7:45. Those of you that are hungry for the food mommy and mama prepared, then you all are identifying with the body. Food for the soul is knowledge. All right? And this is why I got my own ashram built. Because when I used to give discourses from 2013 until 2019, Vasan, what used to happen? As soon as my time's up in the hall, the caretakers are banging the door. So my discourses were restricted. You all wouldn't have eaten with that much ease that I see you all eating, yeah? You had to stand and eat and rush out. That is the abuse that I went through to promote the Supreme Lord. That is the abuse. For 5 years we were kicked out. As soon as it was time, bang, bang, bang. You must move, rush. Okay? So I built my own ashram. And I can keep you all prisoner. I can keep you all prisoner until I complete my discourse. All right, just a few more verses. You can only absorb so much in a session. All right, And everything that I gave you is not for everyone. One verse might go to one person, the next verse to the next person, an explanation to the next person, but I make sure everyone go home with something from the Guru. Everyone will go home with something from the Guru. And my Guruji used to say that if a discourse is 1 hour and if you come here as a unit, as a family, or if you come in company, then you must go home and spend 4 hours analyzing what I said for 1 hour. Dana, you excluded. You got no one to talk to. Alright, but Mama and Mommy, today is y'all's day, y'all cooked. As soon as you reach home, have a rest, then y'all got a 4 hour. Y'all can gossip about the Guru, no problem. That is legal gossip. This gossiping is allowed. This gossiping is allowed. And you can gossip for 4 hours. Text 42. And this is very, very important. It came before man. It came before me. It came before man. Then the thread ceremony for the twice born was inaugurated, as were the rules to be followed for at least 1 year after acceptance of the Vedas, rules for observing complete abstinence from sex life, vocation in terms of Vedic injunctions, and various professional duties in the household, and the method of maintaining a livelihood without anyone's cooperation by picking rejected grains. So he's talking about initiation. Initiation into your second life. Initiation into your second life is the twice born. So let us look at this. I'm going to conclude just now, but let us look at this. When you are born from the womb of your mother, when you are born from the womb of your mother, it's your first birth. Then you take initiation and you are born from the womb of your Guru. Your first birth will continue you in the cycle of ignorance and lack of knowledge. And whilst we here, I got 2 lawyers, I got 2 doctors, I got teacher, I got some intelligent people, and I've been kicking these things. Like I said, when a human sees the moon, the human eye sees the moon is the reflection of the sun. And it is incorrectly stated full moon. Because if you show light on a ball, how much of the ball will be exposed to your eye? So that what we state as full moon is actually half moon. It's actually half moon, but men don't get happy. The wife's full moon will still be full. It won't go half. It won't go half. It will still always be full. All right? Mama, another chapter to discuss at home, you and Mommy. All right? Then I said that if there's twins and the child that is born first is the younger child. And I explained that if you take marbles and put it in a test tube, you put the first marble in, you put the second marble in. When you offload the test tube, the first marble will come out first. The second marble will come out first. So who is older? The one that's born second. And I also told you that we had twins working at our house. They were 40 years of age. And when I broke this down in this term and explained it to them, they were very angry. You understand? Because the senior brother now had to become the junior, and he was not happy with this explanation. They were both musicians. They should play in our bhajan group. I don't see them anymore. You can understand why. All right? So now let's work this out, because we're talking about birth. Which day your birthday is supposed to be celebrated? Your first birthday. What's the definition of the word? Birthday. Which is your first birthday? Day you was born. But we all celebrate it a year? Yes? Or are you still confused? When you're supposed to celebrate it according to the definition of the... Vasan, you carry on, don't worry. He's confused now. You understand? That's why I asked the lawyers and the doctors and the teachers. This is a higher grade question. I'm going to conclude now. Verse 44. Verse 44, Canto 3, Chapter 12, the science of logical argument. Nilendra, you can sit here. I'm tired. The science of logical argument, comma, the Vedic goals of life, comma, and also law and order, comma, moral codes, comma, and the celebrated hymns, Bhu, Bhuva, and Swa, all became manifested from the mouths of Brahma, comma, and the Pranava Omkara was manifested from his heart. So again now, see where law and order comes? Before man was created. You can see where law and order comes? You ever thought law and order will be in the Vedas? There is nothing that exists in this universe that is not in the handbook of the universe. And as every creation has a handbook, whose car didn't come with a handbook? Every car came with a handbook. The handbook called the Vedas for the universe. For the universe contains every aspect of this universe. Nuclear bombs in the Vedas. Can you believe it? Nuclear bombs already in the Vedas. 44. Verse 47. Brahma's soul was manifested as the touch alphabets, comma, his body as the vowels, comma, his senses as the sibilant alphabets, comma, his strength as the intermediate alphabets, and his sensual activities as the 7 notes of music. Musicians, Mama and Mami, what are the 7 notes of music? Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. Can you see where it came from? All of you, before man was created. Verse 51. Brahma thought to himself, alas, it is wonderful that in spite of my being scattered all over, there is still insufficient population throughout the universe. Full stop. There is no other cause for this misfortune but destiny. Verse 52. While he was thus absorbed in contemplation and was observing the supernatural power, two other forms were generated from his body. They are still celebrated as the body of Brahma. Verse 53. The two separated bodies united together in a sexual relationship. And verse 44 or 54, out of them the one who had male forms became known as Manu, and the woman became known as Satarrupa, the queen of the great soul Manu. I want to end here. I didn't want to bring this aspect into next week. That is why I extended my time, because I have license to do so. I have license to do so, and timeously I must use this license. So I've explained to you from creation right at the beginning, right up to now, the first man, Manu, and the first female, his wife, is going to start the human population. The reason I brought in all this detail is to show you the importance and significance of the Guru principle. Guru principle placed right at number 3 at creation. And look at where man is. Can you see where man is? So you think man has capacity in the category of creation to question the Guru principle. In terms of category and status quo, you think man has capacity to question the Guru principle? Yes, he can question the Guru, because the Guru is a human, but he cannot question the Guru principle. And I am the defender and promulgator of the Guru principle, and this is why I took such a strict stance when this ashram was attacked, because I'm not protecting my human character. I'm not protecting my human character. I am protecting the Guru principle. And if I allow all Tom, Dicks and Harrys and Mudlis to attack the Guru principle, in our 8 billion people, how many Tom, Dicks and Harrys we think you have and Mudlis? You understand? So it is incumbent upon me as a Guru that if you attack the Guru principle, I must let you have it. Yes? You think? Because look how important it is. Imagine if somebody closes this ashram down today through false propaganda. How much of information will be lost to mankind if I have to close down? Every Guru has a uniqueness. This information is there in the Vedas. There are thousands of Gurus in India, aren't there? But do you find this information on the internet in the manner in which I am giving you? So I have my uniqueness, I have my mission to dish out palatable knowledge to you, which you can take one bite at a time. This is my uniqueness. The information is the same. There's a Guru in India that's reading this Bhagavad Gita. I'm in South Africa, I'm reading the Bhagavad Gita. The information is the same. It is our uniqueness in presenting it. Like you'll get Timera in court, and you'll get my other, not Mum Simi, you'll get my other attorney Simi doing a similar case. Both the attorneys will use the same evidence, but they'll have a unique approach to presenting that case to the magistrate. So similarly, there are millions of gurus around the world. It's my uniqueness to present this information to the Western mind. Mami, inside your head, what mind you got? Eastern or Western? More Western. More? Yeah, more Western. I know, because I know you don't come to ashram every morning and then go to work. So it's more Western. All right? Vasan, your mind more Eastern or Western? Eastern, because he comes to ashram every morning. He gets me up from my bed, takes the key and opens the ashram, does whatever he wants to do here. And not only that, he brought his whole company here. Sometimes you see 2 company vans outside with these workers, all praying in the morning. All right? So, remember, for those of you that have seen a spat on social media, I did not worry about my personal image as this human guru. That is why I went there. You understand? Because I am protecting a greater, for the greater good of mankind, and this is nothing personal. Otherwise, everybody will be attacking gurus. All right? And remember, I come from the military. I'm a human being ingrained in the military from a young boy. I've had the 4th highest military training in the world when I trained. And my hand itches now and again to connect with idiots of that nature. You understand? But I am curtailed. There's a new devotee here looking at the guru shot. And he's a doctor. So I'm just bringing in the humanity in the guru-disciple relationship. Guru is not transcendental. All right? And last explanation for you, Bhai. Mahatma Gandhi was not a saint. Mahatma Gandhi was not a saint. He was a politician. His Gandhian philosophy of passiveness that he interpreted the Bhagavad Gita is false. There is no passiveness in the Bhagavad Gita. Throughout the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna tells Arjuna, go and kill them. Kill the demonic. So there's no passivity in Sanatan Dharma. You got righteous, you got unrighteous. Those that are unrighteous, the righteous must take action. The righteous must take action. And that is why my palms are itchy. Together with my military training, it has become very, very itchy, but it's restrained because I am now a guru. All right? So I'm in a very difficult position. I hope somebody else don't take the guru on. I might just lose my composure. Due to the itchiness, nothing else. Jai Srimad Narayan.